So it's time for the mid-year book freakout tag. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allison and today I am doing the mid-year book freakout tag, and I have done this tag before, not on YouTube. I did it on my Bookstagram account probably last year, and I didn't even bother looking it up to see what my answers were to these questions previous year. But here we are doing 2021's tag, and that's pretty exciting. I mean, I can't believe that 2021 is halfway over already, because wow, time is going really fast. So this tag was actually very hard for me to come up with answers for, because I'm just gonna be completely honest and say my reading this year has literally sucked so bad. I've read a lot of okay books, I've read a lot of really crappy books, and I have read very, very few books that are new to me, not rereads, that have actually been good. So I have quite a few questions here that I just don't have answers for, so I'm just gonna fall back on my favorites for those ones, because I literally don't have anything new, like it's not updated. I haven't had anything come along that like replaces those previous favorites, so yeah, that's super cool, I guess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. The first question is your best book of 2021 so far. So this is actually pretty easy for me. I just read this book a few days ago, and that is The Summer Garden by Paulina Simons. This book is a final book in a trilogy. It's the final book in the Bronze Horseman trilogy, and it is an adult historical fiction. This book had me going through all of the feels. I had anger, I had sadness, fear, happiness, just all the emotions were experienced while reading this book. This book was so good. It's my first 5-star book of the year, literally the only new book that was 5 stars that I have read this year, so that's pretty freaking sad. Yeah, other than the fact that it's taken me until the month of June to get an actual 5-star book, other than that, this book was very, very good. I really liked it. I mean, I can't really like tell you should read it until you like read the first 2 books, but this book was just as good as the first 2. I absolutely freaking loved it. I can't wait to reread the whole series in the future. It will be probably a few years before that happens, just because of how like heavy this book was. Question number 2 is the best sequel of 2021, and this was really hard for me to come up with an answer for, because I have read quite a few good sequels, but they're rereads, so yeah, that kind of sucks. So this is a book that I read and it was okay, it wasn't amazing or anything, but it's the best sequel that I have read this year, and that is The Hunter and the Mage by Caitlin Davis. This book is the sequel to The Raven and the Dove. It is a YA fantasy, and it was good. It had its good points. I felt some emotions while reading it, and but there was a good portion of the book where I was like just angry at the main character because she was being dumb. But as far as sequels go, this one wasn't bad. I really actually enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed reading it. I didn't watch this book, I read it, so that's wow, I need more coffee or something. So yeah, not a horrible book, but not like a freaking awesome book either, so that's okay, that's fine. It was a good sequel, and I'm excited to continue the series with The Dragon and the Queen. Question number 3 is new release you haven't read yet but really want to, and for that one I have The Girl in the Mountain by Mark Lawrence picked out. This is the sequel to The Girl in the Stars, and it came out in March, I believe. So I haven't owned it that long, but it did come out in the first 6 months of the year, and I am looking forward to reading it quite a bit after the cliffhanger that ended the first book, so that's pretty exciting. I actually have it on my TBR for July, so we will see if I actually get to it or not. Question number 4 is most anticipated release for the rest of the year, and since they're not out yet, I don't actually have copies of these, and One of them is Cytonic by Brandon Sanderson, which is the third book in the Skyward. It is a YA science fiction, and I am very much looking forward to reading that one. The second book was all sorts of epicness going on in it, and I just really need the next book, and it's supposed to come out in November, so I'm looking forward to that one. I think there was one other one that I was looking forward to, and I obviously don't have a copy of that either, and that is Aurora's End by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. That is the final book in that trilogy. Also looking forward to that one because the sequel left me in basically a puddle of emotions at the end, because what the heck, you cannot do that. So I really need to read the next book. So those are two releases that I'm looking forward to in the second half of 2021. Question number 5, your biggest disappointment of 2021. And I'm pretty sure if you've watched any of my videos at all on my channel, not any of them, but like a few from this year, earlier in the year, you will not be surprised that my biggest disappointment this year was A Court of Silver Flames. Could I have picked another book for this prompt? Probably. There were some other books that I was pretty disappointed by, but this one has to take the cherry on top for being the absolute worst book I have read in this year and probably the past 5 years. This book was pretty dang bad. So I really don't want to talk too awful much about it because I feel like I have overtalked this book on my channel. I just really was so 100% disappointed by this book that I already had very low expectations for. So there's that, and we're just gonna move on. Question number 6 is, to follow up on the biggest disappointment, is my biggest surprise for 2021. And there were quite a few books that I read that I was surprised by, that I was not expecting to enjoy as much as I did. But the one that has to take the cake for that is Dune by Frank Herbert. So this book is the first book in quite a long series, and it is an older series. This book was published in 1965, I believe, and it is adult science fiction, and it is very unique, and I really like it. I was just very pleasantly surprised by how much I liked this book, and I am very excited to continue reading this series this year. It is one that I would like to complete reading this year, so I really need to buy the third book because that's the one that I'm on to next, and yeah, I don't know. But I was very pleasantly surprised by this one. My favorite thing about this book was probably the world building. Just the world in general that this book was set on is really unique, and I really liked reading it. I liked reading about it, and overall just an excellently written book, and I am just really excited that I took a chance on it. And yeah, because I could have been really intimidated by how ginormously huge this book is, but I was not, and I took the plunge, and I really liked it. The next question is favorite new author of 2021, and this could be either a debut author or an author that you have not read a book by previously. So for me, that is John Gwynne. This is his novel A Time of Dread, and this is the only book I have read by him so far. I do have the rest of this trilogy, and of course I want to get to his other series as well, especially the new one that he just released a book for. Let's see. I don't know. I just really enjoyed his writing. I don't know, I really liked it. It's adult fantasy, and it is very well written. I love the characters, the world, all of the things that were happening in it. I really enjoyed the fact that it is adult fantasy without being disgusting, at least for the most part. I don't really like books that are really gross, and it's really weird because I'm not really a visual reader. I literally don't have to visualize things in my head. That is something that I have to consciously do while I'm reading, but if I'm just reading, if I'm really into the story, I don't visualize a dang thing because I really don't care. I just want to read the story. So if a book is disturbing to me, then that's saying something because I'm not a visual reader. Now, if I sat and visualized every single thing in the book, then maybe this would have bothered me more. But as it stands, it was a very, for the most part, not too disgusting of an adult fantasy, and I really just enjoyed it. I'm just really excited to continue reading the series, and yeah, I really need to find out what happens in this series. Question number 8 is newest fictional crush. So I don't have an answer for this one, at least not a new one. But if I had to say I have a fictional crush on someone, everybody probably already knows this, and I'm just gonna fall back on my old favorites, and that is Rysand from Court of Thorns and Roses. He's more than a crush, he's my book husband, so I don't know, I just really like him. Other fictional crushes that I have are Rune Danon from Crescent City, and Darrow from Red Rising. Oh, Rafe from the Raven and the Dove series. I really like him. It's not like a super crush, but I just really like him as a character, you know, overall. So there's a few of those. Number 9. Continuing on with this, not having any answers. So number 9, the question is favorite new character. I don't have a favorite new character from this year. I looked like over my list of books that I've read so far this year, and I'm like, I just really don't have one. I guess if I had to pick one, it would be Drem from A Time of Dread. Let's see if I can hold this book properly. There's a character in this book called Drem. There's a few other characters in this book that I really liked. Sig is one, and Riv is another one. I think that's literally like all of the main characters. But this book, if I had to pick new favorite characters, I would probably pick all of the main characters from this book because they're just really awesome. I really, really liked reading their perspectives and stuff. So that's probably why I like this book so much. But I don't know. I don't really have like a character I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that character so much. Like I just haven't experienced that this year so far. An old fallback would be Spensa from Skyward. I freaking love her so much. She's the best. There's more, but I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure it out because I really didn't have an answer for that question anyways. Okay, number 10, a book that made you cry, and I don't have a physical copy of this book, so I'll just pop it up here, and that is The Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa. I listened to this book on audio, and it is the final book, Shadow of the Fox. I'm pretty sure that's what the series is called. It's the final book in that trilogy, and I cried at the end of that book because it was really sad. Not like the very, very end, but like leading up to the end, there was like a bunch of things that happened, and I was like feeling all of the emotions, and I cried about it. So that was a pretty good book. I really like that one. Question number 11 is a book that made you happy. And I don't have one because obvious reasons. I just don't read contemporary, which I feel like that's where that would happen a lot more, is in a contemporary novel or like, you know, like a meet cute type book, and I just really don't read that stuff. So I really couldn't come up with a book that made me happy. Other than like books that I have reread, like rereading The Lord of the Rings and rereading Harry Potter, those books always make me happy, but I wanted to stay away from rereads for this tag just because I don't feel like it's fair to put a reread on this list. So I really didn't have a book that made me happy. Number 12, most beautiful book that you bought or that was given to you, and I have one main one picked out, but there are a couple of others that I wanted to show you because I think they're really, really pretty. So the book that I actually have picked out for this question is The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, and this is a Fairy Loot edition of this book. So first I want to point out the beautiful purple on the dust jacket. It is, oops, I'm dropping it. The original, I'm pretty sure was green, like the parts that are purple here were green on the original book, and that's, yeah. So there's also some sprayed edges, we have some stenciled edges here, and those are all purple. And then I will show you what is on the reverse of the dust jacket because there's art on the back here. So this is the artwork. It's very pretty. I really like it. Hopefully you guys got a good view of that because I didn't make sure you could see it. Oops. And then my favorite feature of this book is this. So this is foil artwork on the hardcover, and it is pink and it is freaking beautiful. I really love it. And then that's what the spine looks like. This book is very pretty. I really like this book a lot. And I really hope that I actually enjoy it when I do read it because I really want to keep it. I don't keep books that I don't like, and I really want to keep this one. So I'm just praying to the book gods that it's good and I really like it. The other two books I wanted to showcase here are both books that I got from Crate. One is The Maiden Ship by Michelin Rickman, and the cover is gorgeous all by itself, but that's not the best thing. So it does have gold foil sprayed edges, and there is art on the reverse of the dust jacket, which I will show you again. So, and this artwork was done by the author. She is also an artist, and it's really pretty. I think it's really pretty. And then this is what the book looks like. It is like this Tiffany blue color, and it has silver foiling on it, and it's really, really pretty. It's like a soft touch, almost like a fake leather kind of cover. Like, it's very smooth and soft, almost like it almost feels squishy. It's not squishy, but it has that nice soft texture on it. It's just very, very pretty. I really like it. Okay, I lied. The foiling is actually rose gold. It looked silver to me for some reason, but it's actually rose gold, which matches the end pages are also rose gold. So there's one, and then the other one is also from Crate, and it is A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. This is the first book in the Married to Magic. It's not really a series, they're all standalones, but they're all set in the same world. So this is the first book in that series. It does not have art on the reverse of the dust jacket, which is okay. It does have really pretty silver foiled edges. This is the cover, so it's got strikingly blue foil on it. It's really, really gorgeous. Very pretty spine, and then the back is beautiful as well. I have read this one, and I will say I really enjoyed it. It was like the perfect escape book. Like, nothing super major happened in it. It was really short, like it's a really small book. I just really, really loved it. And this cover art is just the best. I really like it. It was everything I needed at the time, and just, it fed all of my teenage girl fictional elf crushes that I used to have. So I really, really liked it. Okay, and then question number 13 is the last question, and it is, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? And my answer to that is always going to be all of them, like any good bookworm. So that's my fun answer to the question, but my real answer is the book that I need to read by the end of the year is Golden Hand by Garth Nix. So the reason I picked this book for this prompt is because this is I don't know if it's the final book, but it's the latest book that is out in his Old Kingdom series. And I have read all of the other books except for this one. And as any good bookworm would do, I decided I needed to reread the entire series before I read this one, because it's literally been so long since I've read them all. And I just noticed that there is a sixth book coming out, which is freaking exciting. I can't wait for that. So clearly, that one's getting published in September, so I need to read these before September, which that's fine, because I was going to audiobook the other ones that are available, and which is at this point just 3 and 4, and then I will have to read this one. So the reason why I picked this one is because it's one of the books that I've had on my unread shelf the longest, and in order to get to this one, I have to read a bunch of other books ahead of it. So, and now that the sixth one is coming out in September, I probably should, you know, make it a priority to get through the other books. So that is exciting. But there's just all of the unread books that I have on my shelves right now are books that I need to read before the end of the year, because I've decided if I have any books that I purchased in the previous, like, it's 2021 right now, so in December I'm going to try to read all of the books that I have purchased this year. So if I have any outstanding books that I purchased in the first 11 months of 2021, so January through November, they will have to be read in December, or I will have to unhaul them, which that really puts into perspective how much more time I need to spend reading versus, you know, doing other things, like, you know, anything that's not reading. So those are my plans for the rest of the year. I need to, if I get to this book before the end of the year, I'm doing pretty good. Because I've had this one for so long and I have like quite a big book commitment before I can even get to this one. So that is just motivation for me to read some more this year. So that is it for the mid-year freakout book tag. Unfortunately, this year's tag was not as good as it has been in the past because I just had some like 2 or 3 questions that I had literally had no answers for, but that's okay. I'm just really hoping that the second half of 2021 is much better than the first half of 2021 as far as reading goes. Other than that, everything else has been, you know, like pretty normal. So I'm just really looking forward to reading some epically awesome books in the second half of 2021. I would love for you guys to answer the first question in the comments, which is your best book of 2021 so far. I would love to know what books you guys have loved and enjoyed, and maybe if I need to add them onto my to-buy list. So let me know your answer to that question in the comments, and I hope you guys had fun watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye!